to Mobility Monday. I am just about to start my workout for today, so I hope you will join me for that. And then please stick around because immediately after the workout, we're going to be doing our weekly Monday Mobility Challenge. I would love for you to try that with me as well. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video, so if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, or if you want to skip straight ahead to the mobility challenge, please go ahead and use the chapter markers to navigate to whatever section of the video is relevant to you. I will not be providing a full tutorial today. I just don't have time. So I will just very briefly explain what we're doing and then you can join me. It's going to be super easy to follow along, I promise. So first of all, let me just start by telling you that this is another SLAP workout. SLAP, S-L-A-P, stands for squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. So you can really do any variations of those 4 exercises that you want. And then I'm going to be adding jump rope. So I have Rebecca here with me today. Rebecca is my adorable black jump rope with these cute little white skulls on the handles. If you would like to know where I get my jump ropes, there is a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video. So click on the link and use coupon code Rebecca to save an additional 10% on your jump rope. If you do not have a jump rope, that's fine. First of all, you can just eliminate the jump rope sections if you want. And the rest of the workout will stand on its own. That's fine. So that's your first option. But if you do want to include the cardio sections, great. You can do any kind of moderate paced cardio you want while I'm jumping rope. So there are going to be 2 jump rope sections. The first one is going to take me plus or minus about 10 minutes. Really plus 10 minutes. There's no way I'm finishing in under 10 minutes. I've been struggling a lot with my stamina lately, but it's going to take somewhere in that neighborhood. So let's say 8 to 15 minutes. You want your first cardio section to be. So think of something that you can sustain for 8 to 15 minutes. Maybe you want to go for a jog, a mile or a mile and a half or 2 miles, depending on how fast you run. So you can jog around your neighborhood. If you have access to the field at your local high school, you can jog around the track a few times. You could do up and down the bleachers. Or if you have access to stairs in your home, your apartment complex, or at a local beach or park or hiking trail, up and down the stairs for 10 minutes-ish, plus or minus 10 minutes for our first cardio section. The second cardio section is going to be plus or minus about 5 minutes. So if you have access to an exercise bike or treadmill or an elliptical or Stairmaster or something like that, you can hop on one of those while I'm jumping rope, or you really can just pantomime jumping rope. That's fine. You can jog in place, you can do high knees, jumping jacks, any kind of moderate paced cardio exercise you want to do for those sections where I'm jumping rope is fine. So again, 2 cardio sections. The first one's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 minutes. The second one is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 minutes. So any kind of moderate paced cardio you can sustain for those amounts of time is fine. If you do have a jump rope and you want to jump rope with me today, great. Any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. I always just kind of jog in place like this while I'm jumping rope, but if you're more comfortable jumping with your feet together, it doesn't matter. Any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. The only important thing is that we're counting revolutions of the jump rope. So we're doing sets of 100. Our first cardio section, we're doing 10 sets of 100. And with our second cardio section, we're doing 5 sets of 100. So when I say a set of 100, I'm talking about 100 revolutions of the jump rope. So you'll jump over your rope 100 times, that's 1 set. I have a piece of paper and a pen here so I can mark a little slash after each set and I don't lose track of where I am. So I recommend doing that, otherwise it's really easy to lose track of your count while you're doing these cardio sections. So I'm going to jump over my rope 100 times, make a little slash, and then I'm going to do that 9 more times. Okay, so 10 sets of 100, that's my first cardio section. And then when we get to the second cardio section, I'm going to do 5 sets of 100. All right, so that's what we're doing with the jump rope, and that's what to do if you don't have a jump rope. For the rest of the workout, I'm not using any exercise equipment whatsoever, but I will be getting down on the mat for one of my push-up exercises and for both of my ab exercises. So you can do standing abs and you can do push-ups from your toes. If that's you and you're not going to benefit from having anything soft underneath you, fine. But if you're going to be getting down onto the floor or the ground to do your ab exercises, or if you do push-ups from your knees, then you're going to be more comfortable with something soft beneath you. These mockingbirds drive me insane, I swear. Okay, so if you have an exercise mat or a yoga mat, go ahead and grab that. If you don't have a mat, a towel may suffice, or if you just need something to put under your knees, or your booty to do the Russian twists. For example, you could grab like maybe a seat cushion or a throw pillow or something like that, or a folded up towel. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all, but I'm going to be using my mat, and that's it. I'm not lifting anything, so you don't need any weights. You can add weights if you want. Again, you can do any variations of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups you want. So you can add weight if you want to, but I'm not going to be adding weight. So if you want to follow along with what I'm doing, all you're going to need is something soft beneath you and a jump rope if you have one. So just very quickly remember your 3 bullet points with squats: shoulders back and down, chest lifted high, tighten up the abs, push your booty back, keep your back flat, keep the weight in your heels. You should actually be able to pick up your toes, and then you can sink down into your squat, press your heels into the ground to stand. So remember, flat back, weight in the heels. No matter what squat variation you're doing, remember those 2 bullet points. So just make sure that you're working to your own level. Please don't push your body into doing anything it is not ready to do. You want to see if you can at least get your thighs parallel to the ground, but if you're not there yet, you're not there yet, okay? So if you're here in your squat, that's fine. It's not important that you get your thighs parallel to the ground. What's important is that you're maintaining that flat back and that your weight is in your heels, and you don't want your knees coming out over your toes like this. Same thing with your lunges. I'm going to be doing side lunges today, but you can do reverse lunges, dragon lunges, curtsy lunges, forward lunges, jump lunges, any lunge variation you want. You can add weight, you cannot add weight, but just make sure again that your shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, make sure your abs are tight, and make sure your weight is in your heels. So as I'm stepping to the side and lunging, I'm pushing my booty back, keeping that chest lifted high, my spine is elongated. I want to avoid rounding my back like this, okay? So I'm going to be reaching down and tapping my foot, but if you are only able to reach your foot by rounding your back, don't worry about tapping your foot, tap your knee instead. Again, squats and lunges, make sure your shoulders are back and down. You want a flat back and you want the weight in your heels. So as I'm here, my weight is over my heel of my lunging foot. All right, so I'm going to be doing 2 different side lunge variations. And then for abs, I'm going to be doing Russian twists, and then I'm going to be doing a crunch variation. So I'll be down on the mat for my abs, but if you don't have anything soft that you can have on the ground or the floor for comfort, you can do standing abs, okay? So you can be here and just do like side crunches from a standing position. If you have a dumbbell, you can, pass the dumbbell around, you can march. Okay, so there's tons of different standing ab exercises that you can do if you don't want to get down onto the mat. And then for my push-ups, for the first push-up variation, I'm going to be doing a knee-assisted push-up, a 1 knee push-up variation. And if you do push-ups from your knees, obviously you're going to want to have something soft beneath you, but even if you do push-ups from your toes, you may want to do this variation with me because it's going to be a lot of reps. And I just don't want it to slow down my momentum too much. So here's the format very quickly. So just keep this in mind when you're choosing which variations of these exercises you want to do. Is that for the first time through our slap reps, our squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups, we're going to be doing a lot of reps. Okay, so whatever squat variation you choose, you're going to be doing 90 reps before moving on. Whatever lunge variation you choose, you're going to be doing 80 reps of lunges before moving on. And then 70 reps of whatever ab exercise you choose. And then 60 push-ups. 1 set of 60 push-ups, not 60 push-ups spread out, but 1 set of 60 push-ups. So that's why I'm electing to do a knee-assisted push-up, because I don't want it to take me, 10, 15 minutes to get my push-ups done, which it will if I do all 60 push-ups from my toes. So just keep that in mind. Then for the second half of the workout, the second time that we do our slap reps, you can do the same variations of those exercises that you did the first time through, that's fine. I'm going to be doing different variations. So for those variations, they're going to be a little bit more challenging because we're doing fewer reps. So the second time through our slap exercises, we're going to be doing 40 squats, 30 lunges, 20 reps of an ab exercise, and just 10 push-ups, whatever push-up variation you're doing. So just keep that in mind so that you are strategic and you're choosing variations of these 4 exercises that make sense and that you're able to do that many reps of, okay? And I know I'm just kind of speaking in general terms about the format of the workout right now, but please remember that I always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and I'm going to do the entire workout right along with you. So watch me do it, read the instructions. I think it will be pretty easy to follow along, but of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format and how everything fits together, if you have questions about any of the exercises that we are doing today, or questions generally about how to do squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups with the correct form. If you're a beginner and you need help with beginner modifications, I am right here to help. So please just ask, okay? Always ask questions if you have them. It's really important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you get the maximum benefit out of each exercise. And of course, it's super important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. So I'm always here to help facilitate that, even though I'm not taking the time to do a full, long, drawn-out tutorial today where I go over every detail of how to do each of these exercises. I don't have time to do that today, but even though I'm not doing that today, that doesn't mean that you should not reach out with questions if you have them. Okay, please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or if you need help. And again, please, especially if you're working out along with the video, please remember to go at your own pace. So I am going to try, it is my goal to finish this workout in under 45 minutes. I don't know if that's a realistic goal for me today. Like I said, I'm struggling with my stamina right now, so it might take me longer than 45 minutes. But just if you're in decent shape, I think 45 minutes is a reasonable goal. This workout should not be taking, 3 hours. So I'm really hoping to finish it in under 45 minutes, but I'm not going to sacrifice my form for speed. If I need to slow down, if I need to stop and rest, that's what I'm going to do. So make sure that you, likewise, are not sacrificing your form for speed. If you're faster than I am, great, be faster than I am. You can always skip ahead in the video if you need to see what's next, if you've beaten me to the next exercise. So it's fine if you're faster than I am, as long as you're not losing anything off of your form to get there. If you're slower than I am, that's also wonderful, because you would not even know that you're slower than I am unless you're out here putting in the work and doing the reps. So if you fall behind, either because you're just working at a slower pace or because you're needing longer rest breaks than what I'm taking, or you're needing rest breaks where I'm not taking them, you can always pause the video and just come back when you're ready. I'm not going anywhere. We'll finish the workout together. It's fine. But what you don't want to do is race to keep up with me or race to beat me. If you're going faster than I am, great, but if you're racing through the reps and your form starts to get sloppy, that means you need to slow down. It is always going to be safer and more effective to do the reps slower with good form than to race through and do lots and lots of sloppy reps. So please make sure that you're minding your form, and please make sure that you are not pushing your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. So shorten up your range of motion if you need to. Put your knees down for the push-ups if you need to. Okay, modify, modify, modify. Do what works for you. Please just be smart and be safe. Listen to your body. Make the decision that's best for you. And guys, just do your best. Remember, your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. One final thing before we begin, since I'm so pressed for time today, and since we are starting with like 10 plus minutes of jump rope, I am not going to do the normal warm-up routine that I do with you every day. So if you love that warm-up routine and you want to do it today, I will link it up here in the iCard. Go ahead and click on the link, do the warm-up routine, and then come back here and we'll get today's workout done together. But the reason I'm not doing that warm-up routine today is because I'm just going to use that long jump rope section as my warm-up. So if you're good doing that, then don't worry about the warm-up. Just gather whatever equipment you need. So for me, that's just my jump rope and a mat. So make sure you have something soft beneath you if you're going to be doing knee push-ups, or if you're going to be doing ab exercises similar to the ones I'm doing. Grab your jump rope if you have one, and if you would like to jump rope with me today. And if you want to increase the difficulty by adding weight, weight, go ahead and grab some dumbbells or a kettlebell or medicine ball or some household items. And then the last thing I would recommend having handy is a pen and a piece of paper if you're like me and you lose track of what set you're on, so you can keep track of how many sets of jump rope you've done. And then pause the video, go get dressed. Meet me right back here. We're going to get right into the workout. All right, so we are starting with 10 sets of 100 with the jump rope, or about 10 minutes of some other type of moderate paced cardio. I'm probably going to be tripping over my jump rope quite a bit, so I just want to tell you before we begin that if you trip over your jump rope, it's fine. You do not need to go back and start the entire set over again. Just take a deep breath and get right back into it. Pick up your count where you left off. Just do your best. All right, so as soon as you're ready, here we go. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So you're just counting 100 revolutions of the jump rope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. So now I'm going to just mark a quick slash so that I don't lose track of how many I've done. That's my first set of 100, so I'm going to do 9 more, okay? Try to keep your rest breaks in between sets as short as you can. Set number 2, when you're ready, here we go. start that set over since I didn't even complete 10 revolutions before I tripped. Okay, this is set number 6. We're halfway down, let's push. Set number 9. One last set, and then we'll move on to our squats. First set of squats. Managed to finish that in just a little bit over 9 minutes. So I'm happy with that. So that's our first little cardio section. Now, for our SLAP, S-L-A-P squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups in that order. 90 reps, 80 reps, 70 reps, 60 reps of whatever variations of those exercises you choose. For my squat variation, I'm going to be doing mini squat pulses, 90 reps. It's going to be super tough, but it'll go by relatively quickly. So again, as you're choosing which squat variation you want to do, just remember we're doing 90 reps before we move on to lunges. So choose a variation that you can realistically do a set of 90 of. Okay? Just taking a couple more deep breaths. I want my heart rate to come down a little bit. I want my breathing to normalize just a little bit before I start on these this next section, our first slap section. So, if you need to rest longer, pause the video, come back when you're ready. So for squats, just remember shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, tighten up your abs, push your booty back. Think about trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty, remembering to keep that chest lifted high, elongating the spine so that your back stays flat and the weight stays in your heels. All right, so I'm just going to be squatting down. So shoulders back and down, push the booty back, squat, and then I'm going to stand about halfway and just pulse. So from here, I'm going back into my squat, and then I'm straightening the legs about halfway. So squat and pulse, 2, 3, 4. All right, 90 reps. As soon as you're ready, here we go. Squat and pulse, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 20. It's 40. It's a burnout for your quads. But we're already 2/3 of the way there. Picking up my count at 60. Maybe I can do another 20 unbroken. We'll see. It's 80. Just 10 more, and then my first set of squats is done. 81, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 90. So next is our lunge variation. I'm doing side jump lunges, 80 reps. You do any lunge variation you want, but you're doing 80 reps of lunges. Doesn't have to be side lunges. It could be forward lunges, static lunges, Bulgarian split squats, reverse lunges, dragon lunges. The point is just to do 80 reps of lunges. 80 total reps If you want to increase the difficulty, you could do 80 reps on each side. It's your workout, so you do it however you want, but 80 total reps is what I'm doing. So I'm going to start in my side lunge position. So again, shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight, pushing the booty back, keeping the chest lifted high. So you're not rounding your back, back stays flat, weight stays in the heel. I'm gonna come down and tap the ground, but remember, if you can only tap the ground by rounding your back, don't worry about tapping the ground, tap your knee instead. And then from here, just gonna jump and switch the position of my feet. All right, if it's too difficult to jump, you can step the foot in, step the opposite foot out and lunge. That's fine. You can step out into your lunge, whatever works for you. All right, 80 reps. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. Starting in a side lunge position, now I'm going to jump and switch the position of my feet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 40 for me. I'm halfway there, I just need a minute. It's 60, 20 more. And 80. So my first set of lunges is complete. Now abs. Any ab exercise you want to do, 70 reps. So I'm going to be doing Russian twists, but I am going to be double counting these. So it's very simple. It's just twist and tap, twist and tap. So that's going to be 1 rep for me. If that's too many for you, you can count each time you tap your hands as 1 rep. So you can count 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. I'm going to be double counting them. So each time I tap this side of my mat, I'll count 1 rep. You can do this with or without weight. I usually do this exercise with weight, but I didn't feel like adding weight today, so I'm just going to be tapping my fingers onto the mat, but you can hold on to a dumbbell or a kettlebell or a household item. If you want to make it a little bit easier, you can keep your heels on the mat. Elevating your heels up off the mat will increase the difficulty, so make the decision that's best for you. As soon as you're ready, here we go. Or if you don't want to do Russian twists, remember you could be doing 70 reps of any ab exercise you want. So I'm going to lift my heels up off the mat, twist and tap, and then twist and tap the other side of my mat, twist and tap this side. So that's 1 rep. Twist and tap, twist and tap. That's 2, 3, 4. Keep going. That's 50 for me. Let's do 20 more. And then we're moving on to our first set of push-ups. And then that's the first half of the workout done already. The second half of the workout, we're going to be doing fewer reps, but I'm going to be doing more difficult variations. So it's probably going to take, the second half is actually probably going to take me longer than the first, but we'll see. All right, picking up my count at 50. When you're ready, here we go. That's 60, 10 more. $65, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 70. All right, so now moving on to push-ups. So again, you can be doing any push-up variation you want, either from your knees or from your toes, or you can do standing push-up variations. There's plenty of those. But we're doing 60 reps. So be smart. Don't choose a super difficult push-up variation, and then you have to do 60 reps and it's going to take you 20 minutes. We don't want that. Make sure with your push-ups that your head is staying in line with your spine. Make sure your shoulders are staying away from your ears. Don't allow yourself to sink down into your shoulders like this. Spread out all 10 fingers. Press the ground away from you. Shoulders are away from your ears. You're pushing yourself up as high as you can. And make sure that your back stays flat. So if you're doing push-ups from your toes, you want your body in one perfectly straight line from your heels to your shoulders. Don't allow your hips or your belly to droop down like this, causing an arch in your back. Tighten up your abs, use your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them high. If you're doing knee push-ups with me, then your straight line is going to be from your knees to your shoulders. But make sure you're not dropping your head down, head in line with the spine, shoulders away from the ears, tight abs, flat back. I'm going to be doing a one knee push-up. So I'm going to extend one leg out behind me, and I'm going to do my push-up on one knee like this. Then I'm going to put this foot down, and I'm going to press into the mat with my palms and press the ball of this back foot into the ground as I lift the other leg and tuck this knee in towards my chest. Then I'm going to place the knee back down and switch sides. So I'll step this foot in, step the other foot out, elevate the foot, push up. Now put the foot down, press into the ground, lift the knee, tuck the knee in towards the chest, press the knee back down, step the back knee in, and switch again, all right? So again, it's 60 total reps. I'll be alternating sides with each rep. So give another minute to rest before we start our push-ups. So I'll wait for the plane so I don't have to shout over it. Then I'll talk us through the first few reps. shoulders, and now step one foot back. Lift that back foot, and now push up, place that back foot down, lift the knee, tuck the knee into your chest. Place your knee back down on the mat, step the back foot in, step the other foot back. Elevate the foot, push up, and tuck the knee. Switching legs. One knee push up, knee tuck, and switch. Push up, knee tuck. That's 4. So we're going to 60. I'm going to zip my lips so I don't lose track of my count. If it's too complicated for you, just simplify it. Just do knee push-ups, or do 30 reps on one side, then 30 reps on the other. Whatever's going to work for you, but I'm going to try to pick up the pace so that I'm not out here all day doing push-ups. So I'm going to zip my lip, picking up my count at 4, so as soon as you're ready, here we go. That's 30 for me, so I'm halfway there. I need to do another 30 reps. I think I'm going to take a good minute to rest so that I can try to do another 20 unbroken. And then I'll only have 10 left, so then if I can do my next 20 unbroken, I can take a shorter rest break because I'll only be recovering from a set of 20 as opposed to recovering from a set of 30, and I'll only have to do 10 more as opposed to having to do 30 more. So should be able to take a much shorter rest break. So one more deep breath here. I'm gonna see if I can do another 20 unbroken. That's my goal. If not, I'll just do 3 more sets of 10, no big deal. Okay, if you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm picking up my count at 30. 50. I'm going to try to keep this rest break as short as I can because I only have to do 10 more. All right, last 10 reps. That's 55. 5 more. 56. 57. 3 more. Push. 58. Just 2 more. 59. Last one. And that's 60. All right, we're halfway done. That is our first time through our slap exercises. Now we're gonna repeat the same pattern, but all of the amounts are gonna be cut in half. So I'm starting again with jump rope, but this time I'm doing 5 sets of 100. Instead of 10 sets of 100. Sorry, I didn't mean 10 sets of 50, although you could do 10 sets of 50 if you want. When I say cutting the reps in half. With regard to jump rope, that means 5 sets of 100 because we're doing like 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. But in place of 100 reps of squat, lunge, ab, or push-up variation, we're doing 10 sets of jump rope. And so this is kind of the same thing. Instead of 50 reps of an exercise, we're doing 5 sets of 100. So, alrighty, I have not been doing any upper body stuff for the last month or 2, and those knee push-ups took me out. All right, like I feel like I don't even have enough strength in my arms to swing my little jump rope around. All right, let's go ahead and get started on the second half. If you need a longer rest break so that you can allow your heart rate to come down a little bit and allow your breathing to normalize, if you need to towel off or get a sip of water, pause the video, challenge yourself to keep the rest break as short as you can, but it should be as long as you need. You should only resume the workout once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue with good form. So as soon as you're ready, let's get started on this second half. 5 sets of 100 with the jump rope this time. See if I can get my feet up and over this rope. My legs feel like jelly. was my fourth set. Just one more. Let's push. I'm just gonna pick up my count at 30. Let's do another 70 reps. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. All right, we just now, as I peeked back at my timer, hit the 40-minute mark. So I'm not going to meet my goal of finishing in under 45 minutes. I knew it wasn't very likely. I knew it would probably take me longer than 45 minutes. So at this point, my top goal is just to get the reps done with good form. My secondary goal will be to just keep it as close to 45 minutes as I can. So maybe I can finish in under 50 minutes. We shall see. But all we have left to do is 40 squats, 30 lunges, 20 reps of an ab exercise, and 10 push-ups. So it shouldn't take too long. You can stick with the same squat, lunge, ab, and push-up variations we did the first time through if you want. I'm going to be switching it up. Since it is Mobility Monday, I wanted to focus a little bit more on mobility training for this second half. So for my squat variation, I'm going to be coming down into my squat. As I do that, I'm going to pick up one heel and pivot, and I'm going to bring my booty down to rest on top of the back of this heel. Okay, then I'm pressing into the ground with the ball of this foot as well as this heel to stand, return to my starting position. So I'm going to pivot the toes to face forward again. 40 total reps. So I'll alternate sides with each rep. So for my next rep, I'll pick up the opposite heel, pivot on my toes as I come down into my squat. Squat all the way down so that my booty is on top of this heel, and then press into the ground, straighten my legs to stand. All right? One more deep breath here. I don't think I'll be able to do all 40 without stopping. I'm going to try to do my first 20 unbroken if I can. We'll see. So as soon as you're ready, just remember, shoulders back and down. Lift that chest high, tighten up the abs, push the booty back. Flat back, weight in the heels, whatever squat variation you are doing. So as I sink down into my squat, I'm going to lift one heel, pivot, and then pivot the toes to face forward again as I stand. Now other side, pick up the heel, pivot, squat all the way down so your booty's on top of this heel. Straighten the legs to stand. So that's my first 20. I'm halfway there. I have to do another 20 reps. But I'm going to break my second half up into 2 little sets of 10, just to make it a little bit more manageable. So just giving myself a good minute or so to breathe here, shake out the legs. I'm gonna pick up my count at 20, see if I can do another 30 without stopping and without sacrificing form. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. That's 30, just 10 more. That's 40. So I'm all done with squats. So SLAP, remember slap, squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. So next is lunges. I'm going to be doing Cossack squats. So they're called squats, but it's really just another side lunge variation. And I'm going to add another element to it because again, it is Mobility Monday, so I want to take the opportunity to work a little bit on mobility training. So I'm going to start with my feet wide apart. And then I'm going to bend one knee. Again, shoulders are back and down. It's a lunge, even though it's called a squat. Pushing my booty back, keeping my back flat, keeping my weight in my heel as I sink down into my lunge. And now I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna sink all the way down into my lunge so that my booty is down close to this heel. And as I do that, the toes of this foot will come up, and I'm going to rotate my legs so that my knee is pointing straight up at the ceiling, my toes are pointing straight up at the ceiling. Then I'm going to come all the way down onto my booty, and I'm going to tap this knee on the mat in front of me. Then I'm going to lift the knee back up. Now I'm going to shift my weight forward and come back into this deep lunge position. So I'm going to use my hands here just because I've lost my momentum, but try not to use your hands. I'm going to come back up into this deep lunge position. And then I'm going to press this heel into the ground, pivot this foot to face forward again, and then other side. So lunge, 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 all the way down, booty down, tap the knee, and now bring the knee back up, bring your weight forward again, and stand. Now, if it's too difficult to put your booty down and tap the knee, you can just be here. You can just do Cossack squats, that's fine. Just eliminate the knee tap, okay? But I'm gonna be doing the knee tap, so it's gonna take me a bit longer. And again, we're alternating sides with each rep, but we're doing 30 total reps. I'm winded just from doing that little demo. Wish me luck. All right, so as soon as you're ready, Cossack squat, put the booty down, tap the knee, and then shift your weight forward. Don't use your hands like I just did. Come back up to your starting position. Other side. Cossack squat, booty down, tap the knee. Bring the knee up, shift your weight forward, and stand. So that's 2, 3, 4. Keep going. That's 20 for me. I just have to do 30 more. So you can see that I'm not straightening my legs and standing and like returning to a full standing position in between each rep, because it just flows a lot better if I stay low. It's also a lot harder that way, I think, staying low the whole time. Which means my quads feel like they want to leap off of my body and run away and hide. But we just have 10 reps left. So let's push through. Pick up my count of 20. As soon as you're ready, here we go. Just 2 more. It's 29, last one. That's 30. All right, so 20 reps of abs. Any ab exercise you want to do is fine. You can do Russian twists again. You can do standing abs. Do any crunch variation you want, any sit-up variation you want. You can add weight to increase the difficulty. For me, this exercise is difficult enough. We're not doing anything extra. So let me first show you a slightly modified variation that's a bit easier. So for this version, I'm going to keep my head and my entire upper back, my entire torso on the mat the entire time. I'm going to start with my legs straight. I just have my arms here on the mat for support. You can have them wherever it's comfortable for you. I'm gonna lift my heels up off the mat a few inches, and then I'm going to do a reverse crunch, so just tucking the knees in towards my chest. Now I'm going to straighten my legs and lower them back down, keeping my knees more or less straight. That's 1 rep. So crunch, straighten the legs, and lower, okay? That's still super tough, but it's slightly easier than what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing that exercise, but I'm going to have my shoulder blades up off the mat the entire time. So I'm gonna have my hands clasped behind my neck, and then I'm just going to lift my back off, the top of my back off the mat. Why can't I think of words? I'm gonna lift my rib cage, my shoulder blades. I mean, I guess technically I'm lifting my rib cage too, but my shoulder blades are on the mat. I'm lifting my shoulder blades up off the mat, lifting my heels up a few inches, and now crunch, straighten the legs, and lower. So reverse crunch, straighten the legs, lower the legs back down with control. That's 2. So make sure you're not just letting your legs drop down. Lower them down with control. So that's 4, 5. All right, I'm counting those as my first 5 reps because this exercise is so hard for me. So I'm going to take just a couple of quick breaths here, and then I'm going to see if I can do my final 15 reps unbroken. I may or may not be able to, but when you're ready, here we go. 15 more reps of these, and then all we have left to do is 10 push-ups. Come on, let's push. They're like, just give us a minute. System, please. All right, 5 more. Come on, guys. We got this. 16. 17. Holy cannoli. 18. 19. One more. Oh, that's 20. You guys know I have the world's weakest abs. I'm always gonna cry, even if it's only 20 reps of abs, I'm gonna be crying. All right, we're already over 56 minutes. So definitely I'm not meeting my goal of under 50 minutes since we've already missed it by 6 minutes. But all we have left to do is 10 reps of push-ups. So again, any push-up variation you want to do is fine. Sticking with our mobility theme, I'm going to be doing Santana push-ups. So it's just a push-up with a side plank, okay? So it's a little bit of spinal mobility. So I'm going to just do a push-up, and then I'm going to lift one hand, rotate into a side plank. So twist your body, feel that rotation in your spine, and then rotate back into my plank, alternating sides with each rep. So now other side, push up, side plank. I'm counting those as my first 2 reps. I'm gonna zip it, see if I can real quick bust out another 8 reps, and then I'm gonna stop my timer. We're done, all right? So 8 more reps, do your best. All right, that took me 57 minutes and 38 seconds. So I knew that it was unlikely I was going to be able to finish in under 45 minutes, but I did set an ambitious goal. And then I'm still finishing in under an hour, so I'll take it. We are not quite finished yet, and no workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee, so we have just 1 rep left to go. But first, whenever I do a workout that incorporates jump rope, in addition to my bonus burpee, I also like to do a bonus set of 100 with my jump rope. So the bonus burpee is mandatory. You must do your bonus burpee, but the bonus set of jump rope is completely optional. So if you would like to join me for this bonus set of jump rope, again, any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. We're just counting 100 revolutions of the jump rope. If you don't want to do the bonus set of jump rope, just take another minute to breathe, cheer me on. Hope that I can get through this without tripping over Rebecca, and then we'll do our bonus burpee together. All right, 1 more deep breath. Shake out them jelly legs. And as soon as you're ready, here we go, counting 100 revolutions of the jump rope. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 91, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that is 100. So that's our little jump rope bonus. And now we have just 1 rep left to go. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, here we go, final rep of the day. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. So let's just do a quick little cool down together. Just keep moving for a few minutes while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit and while you allow your breathing to normalize. So keep moving, you can kind of pace around, shake out the legs, and make sure you're focusing on slowing down your breathing. So if you're out of breath and your breathing is shallow and up here, your chest is rising and falling rapidly like this, what I want you to do is really focus on pulling your diaphragm down, sending the breath all the way down into your belly button. Allow your entire rib cage to expand, and imagine filling up your entire torso with air. And then using your diaphragm as you breathe out to expel the air with control. Okay, so send that breath all the way down into your belly button and keep moving. So just shake out the legs, shake out the arms. Let's do a quick shoulder stretch. So you're going to bring one arm across your body, use your other arm to pull it in tight to your chest. Make sure that your straight arm is completely relaxed. And more importantly, make sure that this shoulder is relaxed. If your shoulder's all tense and hunched up by your ear, you're not going to be able to stretch it effectively. So make sure your arm is relaxed, relax your shoulder, and keep moving. You can shake out the legs, you can pace. I usually just kind of shift my weight from foot to foot. Shake it out, and let's get the other shoulder. So bringing the other arm across your body, using your opposite arm to pull it in tight towards your chest. Arm is relaxed, shoulders are relaxed. Make sure your shoulders aren't creeping up by your ears. Shoulders should be relaxed and away from your ears. Feel that nice stretch all in your shoulder and your upper back. One more breath here. Remember, focusing on your breathing as we work our way through these stretches. And now shake out the arms. We're gonna do a quick tricep stretch. So bending one elbow, I'm placing my hand on the elbow and just gently pulling my elbow towards the opposite shoulder. But I'm making sure that the fingers of my free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. So what you want to avoid is having your free hand hanging out up here somewhere by your shoulder. Point those fingers straight down at the ground and pull that elbow very gently towards the opposite shoulder. Feel that nice stretch in your triceps. One more deep breath here. Breathe in, sending that air all the way down to your belly button. And control the air as you breathe out. Shake it out. Let's get the other side. So bending the other arm, place your hand on the elbow, gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, making sure that the fingers of your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. You feel that nice stretch in your triceps, and make sure that you're continuing to focus on your breath. And keep moving. Keep the circulation going. So again, you can pace, you can shake out the legs, you can shift your weight from foot to foot. One more deep breath here. Let it out. Shake out the arms, and we're going to finish with a quick quad stretch. My quads are jelly after that workout. So we worked them for sure. Let's take a minute to stretch them. If you struggle with balance, you can hold onto the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch or dining room table or park bench for support. All right, just make sure whatever you're holding onto for support is strong, sturdy, and stable. I don't want anyone losing their balance and falling. We made it through that long, tough workout. I don't need you getting hurt during the cool down. So please be smart, be safe, be careful. You're going to bend one knee, bring the foot behind you. If you are holding on to something for support, you are going to reach back and grab hold of your foot with the hand that's on the same side as you're holding on to something for support with your opposite hand. If you're not holding on to anything for support, you can just reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. And then you're going to press your heel into your booty cheek, really press it in there. And as you do that, you're tilting your pelvis forward. So think about tucking your booty underneath you and trying to touch your spine with your belly button. As soon as you combine both of those two elements, you're going to feel that stretch intensify as you isolate your quad muscles more effectively, but you're also going to feel the stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexor. One more deep breath here. And carefully come out, shake out the leg. Let's get the other side. So I'll show you from the side so you can see what I'm talking about a little better when I say to tilt your pelvis forward. So bending the opposite knee, bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with one hand, the hand on the same side if you're holding onto something for support. If not, you can reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. Press, really, really press your heel into your booty cheek. And as you're doing that, you're going to tilt your pelvis forward. So you're tucking your booty underneath you, sucking your belly button back towards your spine. All right, so tilt the pelvis forward as you continue to press this heel into your booty cheek. And feel that stretch intensify in your quad muscles, and then also feel the stretch extend up to your hip flexors. Make sure you're continuing to focus on your breath. One more deep breath here. And carefully come out. And one more time, shake out the legs, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms, swing the arms a little bit, and that's it. That's our little cool down. If you find that your heart rate is still elevated and you're still breathing heavily, that's fine. Just take a couple more minutes, pace around a little bit more. You can do a little more light stretching. That's a great idea. Just remember that this little bit of light stretching that we do during the cool down does not take the place of a proper stretching routine. It's still really important to make sure that you're taking a good 15-20 minutes at least, if you can, to stretch every single day, because it is going to help alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing after the workouts. It's also going to reduce your risk of injury moving forward. And of course, it's going to improve your flexibility. Just make sure that you're not jumping into your stretching routine with cold muscles. So the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done is always going to be immediately after the workout, because your muscles are already nice and warm. But if you don't have time to stretch right now, that's fine. As long as you get your stretching done at some point during the day, that's what's important. Just remember that if you do put off your stretching until later on in the day, your muscles will have gotten cold again, so you're going to need to take a few minutes to warm them back up. You never want to jump into your stretching routine with cold muscles, because your muscles need to be warm in order for them to be pliable so that you can stretch them safely and effectively. So please make sure you're taking the time to stretch every day, but please also make sure that you are doing so safely. But that's it. That's the workout. That's the cool down. And now it is Mobility Monday, so that means that I found another mobility challenge on Instagram. I'm going to go grab my phone so that we can watch the reel together. And once we have watched the reel a couple of times and we understand what it is that we are about to attempt, what we're asking our bodies to do, we'll go ahead and try it together. All right, so I am watching the reel right now. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at so that we can watch it together. Can you do the Ninja Water Warrior Challenge? All right, so I am assuming that having the cup filled with water is part of the challenge. Otherwise, why would you call it a Ninja Water Warrior Challenge? And they all have water in the cup, so this should be fun. So they're using a little plastic cup like from a water cooler. I don't have any of those. We'll watch it again. but I do have plastic cups so that when and if my cup falls, it will not break. So you're going to need some sort of plastic cup for this. So if you have like a red Solo cup or something, that would be great. If not, like a kid's cup or any kind of plastic cup. And then they just have they have water in the plastic cup, and they have, watch it one more time, they're just balancing the glass of water on the outside of their foot, straightening the leg. Well, she didn't do it quite. And then bending the knee and bringing the foot back in. Now, none of them seem to really be straightening their leg all the way. Well, hers, she pretty much straightened it all the way. Okay, the last one was the best one for sure. But I'm gonna say that the challenge is, because otherwise, like what's a successful attempt and what's a fail. So if you don't straighten your leg all the way, then I'm gonna say that's not the challenge. I'm gonna say the challenge is to get your leg all the way straight. Now, if you are unable to straighten your leg, then I'm gonna say get it as straight as you can. But I mean, as straight as you would be able to, like if you're only able to straighten your leg this far, and you're able to straighten it that far while balancing a cup of water on it, then I'm gonna say that's fine. But if you're physically able to straighten your leg all the way, I'm gonna say that's the challenge, getting the leg all the way straight. So if I can straighten it without the cup of water on it, I'm gonna say it's my challenge to get it that straight with the cup of water on it, okay? And then as they were bending, I feel like a lot of them were cheating and reaching out to grab the glass of water or cup of water, don't use a glass. So I'm gonna say, I'll have to try it a couple times and see, but I'm gonna say you're not allowed to reach out and grab the water. I'm gonna say you have to really bend that knee kind of all the way, like almost pretty much as much as you can. So, okay, if you're doing it, it's your challenge. You decide where your threshold is, but for me, I'm gonna say for my challenge, I need to straighten my leg all the way, and I need to bend it in all the way so that I'm not allowed to reach out and grab the water, okay? So that's gonna be my challenge. I think I might try it once or twice with no water in the cup, just so that if I fail for my first couple of attempts, I'm not, splashing water everywhere. There's been enough water splashed around here the last few days, and I don't have to keep like refilling my cup with water. And then, then for my third and final attempt, I will, regardless of whether or not I've been successful up until that point, I'll go ahead and fill my cup with water for my third attempt. But for my first couple of attempts, I'm going to try it like just a dry run. So again, that's up to you. It's your challenge. You do it your way, but that is the challenge. And that's how I'm going to do it. So you do it your way, but let's give it a shot and see what happens. All right, so I have my little plastic cup that I stole from the dining center in college. I'm going to start by placing my cup on the outside of my foot. So far, so good. And now I'm going to straighten my knee all the way. Now I have to bend the knee, bring the foot back, all the way, pick up my cup, and that's it. That's the challenge, we did it. Well, that's almost the challenge. The challenge really is to do it with water in the cup, but I'm counting that as a successful attempt because the cup didn't drop. So had there been water in it, I think I still would have been successful. I can't say that 100% because, the glass weighs a little bit differently, maybe the center of gravity is a little bit different, and of course, you're gonna be more tense and more nervous with water in the cup. So I do think, being able to do it with an empty cup is one thing, and I do think it's going to increase the difficulty putting water in the cup. Maybe that increased difficulty will be all up here, I don't know. But regardless, I'm going to do my second attempt also with an empty cup. And then for my third attempt, I will put water in the cup. So if you were successful and you want to go ahead and put water in your cup now, great. If you were not successful, you get 2 more chances. Remember, okay, every Monday we do our Monday Mobility Challenge, and every Monday it's the same thing. Worked wall rules. That means you get 3 attempts, okay? So as long as you get it by that 3rd attempt, that is a success. So if you were not successful, shake it out, okay? Maybe try it on the other side. See if your balance is better on one side than on the other. They all did it only on one side, but I think I'll end up doing it on both sides just to make sure that I can do it on both sides. But for now, I'm gonna stick with this side. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. So you're gonna bend your knee and you're going to tuck this back foot in close to your booty. Take your cup, your empty cup still, unless you wanna go nuts and fill it with water. Place the cup on the outside of your foot, and now you're going to carefully straighten the knee, and then carefully bend that knee back in. It's tempting to reach out and grab the cup, but don't do it. Keep bending. See, that time, that was not a successful attempt because I could have reached out and grabbed it, but I wanted to keep going and keep bending my knee. And so now I can't even balance this thing. I wanted to keep going and bend, 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 bend. And at the very last second, my cup kind of tipped over. And had there been water in the cup, it would have spilled. So on that one, that was kind of like partial credit because I mostly got it. I straightened my legs straighter than they were straightening theirs in the reel. And I got my foot back in closer to my booty than they were because they were all kind of reaching out and grabbing the cup. But by the standards I set for myself, I would say that was kind of a fail. So I've tried it twice. I'm kind of 50-50 success rate at this point. So wish me luck because for my third and final attempt, I'm going to put water in my cup, and I really, really hope that I do not spill water everywhere. I really hope that I'm able to do this successfully with water in the cup. So if you're still working on even just completing the movement, you don't have to put water in your cup yet. You can do your third and final attempt with an empty cup, and if you're able to do it with an empty cup, I'm gonna say that's a win. I'm gonna say you successfully completed the challenge. But if one or both of our first two attempts were successful for you with no water in the cup, I'm gonna say let's take it up a notch. Let's put water in the cup and see if we are able to successfully complete this challenge the way it was intended with water. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'll go put water in my cup. I'll be right back. Now, if you noticed, they only had a little bit of water in the cup, and I don't know if that was because they were anticipating, you know, water spilling everywhere and they didn't want to have so much water, or if there was some other reason. But this is like 2/3 of the way full of water. See, there's water in there. I'm gonna dump out a little bit. This is now like just slightly under halfway full. So it definitely, you know, weighs a little more now. And like I said, it's going to just kind of affect the center of gravity maybe. So let's see what happens. This is our third and final attempt. So I really, really hope I'm able to do this with water in the cup. All right, so as soon as you're ready, here we go. I really hope I don't spill this. All right, so bending the knee, and I'm gonna place my cup of water on the outside of my foot. Now, straighten the leg. Really try to straighten it all the way. And now, we're wobbling, but we're hanging in there. Don't reach out with your hand and grab the cup before you bend your knee all the way back. Once your foot is all the way back to your booty, you can grab your cup of water, and that's it. We did it. Now that was successful, and I'm very relieved. I do want to see if I can do it on the other side. Now, I haven't tried it on the other side yet with an empty cup, so I don't know what's gonna happen here. But even if this spills, I'm gonna say that I successfully completed this challenge because they all did it on just one side, and this is only my first attempt on the second side. And you guys know that I always keep working on these mobility challenges. So after this video is complete, I'm going to keep practicing this so that I can get it looking nice and clean, because I like to make my own Instagram reel and I like to make my own YouTube short. So I'm gonna keep trying it, and I'm gonna get it cleaned up, and I will be doing it on both sides when I do my reel and my YouTube short. But for now, this is just my first attempt on the other side. My legs are shaky, so we'll see what happens. But if you would like to try it on the other side with me, here we go. Same thing. I think part of it is just trying to find where the water is even gonna or the cup is even gonna balance at all. All right, I can do it on both sides. Woo! I think part of the challenge is finding the right pace, because you want to keep it moving so that you're not balancing on one leg for so long, because when I did it on this side, it took a long time and I started getting really shaky. But at the same time, you can't rush it, because if you move too fast, obviously you're going to lose your cup of water. So you want to move swiftly, but you're kind of limited how fast you can move. So I think that on this second side, I was able to move a little bit faster for some reason, maybe just because my body is starting to understand the movement. I'm starting to get the hang of it. And it was actually a lot easier on this side. I didn't start to get shaky. So I wonder if I try it again on this side, and if I try to do it a little bit faster. Well, I'll hold off on that because I still need to make my Instagram reel and my YouTube short. So I'm gonna say that's it. I was able to successfully complete the challenge on both legs without cheating, without reaching out and grabbing a cup of water. So that's it, I'm done. I have successfully completed this mobility challenge. So that one was actually really a lot of fun. Well, I guess if you were able to complete it successfully, it was a lot of fun. I imagine it was not fun if you failed and you spilled water all over yourself. But you'll have to let me know how you did with it. Let me know if you did attempt this challenge with water in the cup, and let me know if you were successful or not. But for me, that is another successful Monday mobility challenge in the books. And that's it. That is all I have for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you're not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear with the format of today's workout, maybe it was a little bit tricky adding the jump rope in there. I think it's pretty straightforward, but remember the instructions are typed out in the description box down below the video. If anything is still unclear about the format and how everything fits together, if you have questions about any of the exercises that we were doing today, any doubts about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need any help with beginner modifications, especially because I did not have time to do a full tutorial today, just remember that you can always ask questions if you have them, and I will do everything I can to help. That is going to do it for today, but before I say goodbye, I just have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I will give you today's secret code phrase of the day. It is, out came the sun and dried up all the rain. So if you are still watching this video, hello, thank you for watching all the way until the end. Please let me know that someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment that says, out came the sun and dried up all the rain. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all next time. Bye.